Welcome my boys and girls, I hope you're all doing good, having a great day. Today we'll be sharing a new wizard build using a new SM for a disintegrate that helps us do a lot more damage to a target that we are hitting with the disintegrate. Now there are going to be a couple of options for disintegrate itself. If you want to have 100% uptime on a disintegrate, I will be showcasing that in a sec. What else you can use, but you can kind of take a look. This build is going to be pretty chill. We can do the same amount of damage from a range as well, and on the top of that we're breaking the armor of the enemy as well. So it will work for challenge dungeon, it will work for the dungeon, and it will work for the challenge rifts as well, giving you the ability to freeze the enemy and deal ton of damage to them. And again, you can see for a 1 minute test. Then I'm gonna show another version here before we dive into what essences we're using here with the set. So right there, this build isn't that heavy on the finger bleeding and still getting a decent amount of damage right there. But you can do one simple change. We can change the shoulder to another disintegrate here that disintegrate now surround us, so this will be working with the legs at all times, and so we will able to beat the damage that we did here. But the down part of this is gonna be that we have to stay closer to a target, but now the legs bonus for a damage increase is working for us at all times. Right there, you can see we're dealing already a bit more damage. This also works. This works actually pretty good versus the bosses, in my opinion. Right there, you can see we're already doing pretty decent damage, more than before. And I might even have some gameplay of the dungeon right after this, and then we're gonna dive into the build itself. Pretty fun build. I have been using few different variants of the build. This is done with 4000 reso right now. If you have a better gem setup, then you can do a bit more damage. But right there, you can see I'm not doing all that great job right now, but we already end up doing a bit more damage. And this is the version that I actually want to share, since it is pretty easy to play on the phone, iPad as well, and you don't need to just button smash the heck out of a wizard. And now I'll let you guys see some gameplay, and then we're gonna dive into the actual build. There we go. Right now we are inside of Cavern of Echo. This is how you basically play this build, and the favorite part, for at least for me, is gonna be you can be somewhat a lower reso in a lobby and still gonna be pretty impactful, since you will able to deal a ton of CC to the enemies and deal a lot of damage as well. You can see basically everything is just getting frozen as they get closer to me, and we kill them pretty fast. I'm just gonna leave everything. Just wanted to showcase, even in an elite dungeon as a solo, you will be pretty impactful. So you don't need to like worry all that much being a weaker dude and dying all that much as a wizard. Look at that dude, hit so much still. But let's see if we can kill him before he hit the ground or start attacking. Right there, dead. I'm gonna keep on walking here. There isn't much in between, sadly, but there we go. Just gonna keep on walking, dealing damage right there. And we're gonna reach the final boss. So far I think it has been 1 minute or something, and I want to showcase, even with all these elites around, we don't need to actually worry about a thing. All we have to do is focus on the target. Done. I wonder how long this is gonna take us to do this dungeon. I'm just basically running through everything right now, and now we have to actually defeat them. So that is what I'm gonna do, stand close to them so we can deal a bit more damage to them thanks to the disintegrate, breaking their armor right there. And who is left? Let's see. Right there. So 2 minutes something so far, and consistent 8 million damage per second. Could have done a lot more, but I wanted to go through objective as quickly as possible. Now let's see how long the boss is gonna survive. Let's keep on attacking and attacking. All right, the dude is gonna escape though. Very sad. He ended up escaping. Oh, he's back, but still gonna go away. That is just wasting time at this point. All right, let's see. The other disintegrate, the crystalline shadow, you can use that as well if you're looking forward to some range. So you can have some more armor break to enemies from a range. But there we go. That is the gameplay, and now we're gonna dive into the build themselves. Let's go take a look at the skills that we were using. Magic Missile, Frost Field, Disintegrate, Arcane Torrent, and then Scorch. As for the Paragon Bonus, this is what I end up using. You can play with a few different Paragon nodes. That is totally fine. Use what gives you the best result. As for the Warband Bonus, as always, I try and use the Protector for some increased character size so I can move a bit quicker. And then for the set essences, this is what I was equipped with. 4 pieces of Vitus Urges, 1 for more beneficial duration, and having a bit more attack speed. I did not try to do a lot of experimenting here, so you can go with some different set pieces here as well instead of 4-piece Vitus, but 2-piece Vitus is going to be still a must. And then I was using the Banquet of Eyes to deal a bit more damage, since I am putting fire and few different like blazing onto the enemy, so I was trying to get some of that benefit and dealing a bit more damage to them. And rings were again the Vitus, and at the end we were using Prayer of the End of Winter. With this set we can actually hit the enemies like the bosses as well, since it helps us to put the mark on them. Your damage is increased by 15% when attacking chilled enemies and by 30% when attacking frozen enemies. Bosses immune to chill and freeze effect will be marked and triggering these bonuses. This is how we will be hitting the bosses with the Scorch that we have. And as for the essences, you know what, before we go to the essences, this is what I was using when it comes to the Reforge. There we go. Damage to the demons, attack speed, duration, critical hit damage, and all skill damage. And as always, try and stack up critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and skill damage on your helm, shoulder, weapons, and offhand. As for the chest, always try and stack up the beneficial duration. There we go, beneficial duration. You can try and get that on chest. The legs, the belt and boost, and for the rings you can try and get skill cooldown, and for the amulet, skill cooldown or the movement speed. Having some movement speed is going to be decent. And now for the essences, the helm is for the Scorch. Scorch now holds a multiple frigid spear of an ice at an enemy. If they hit a frozen enemy, the spear shatters, dealing additional damage to nearby enemies. And we were doing a lot of like freezing the enemies. The chest is for the Frost Field. Frost Field now grant you creeping chill, causing your attack to chill enemies and freeze them on a critical hit. Then the shoulder is for a disintegrate. Disintegrate now surround you with an entropic field that follow you, damaging and making enemies vulnerable to critical hit. You can also go use the crystalline shadow for a bit more range, and that would work with the eternal effect as well. If you have the disintegrate, more disintegrate, 5 beams, it will work with that as well. The legs is for disintegrate. Again, this is a new one. You deal 9.5% increased damage for 2 seconds to enemies hit by disintegrate, and that is why I said if you want some more range with the disintegrate, go with the crystalline shadow. That way you will be triggering the a bonus on the enemies a lot more often, but there is going to be a cooldown for disintegrate itself. Then the main hand equalizer for a primary. Each time you use a skill, your next magic missile turn into a flaming missile if cast within 5 seconds, which explode on impact. So we will using a lot of skills and spamming primary at the same time. Another weapon is for the Arcane Torrent, basically allowing you to use Arcane Torrent as you move. Then the offhand is Withering Chill, allowing us to deal a bit more damage to frozen enemies. Scorch, critical hit is increased by 29% against chill enemies and 50% against frozen enemies. And at the end, increasing the Scorch damage by 19% and some cooldown, which we don't really need. So that is going to be the build, at least in my opinion, which is going to be best for smaller players right now who are struggling doing these challenge dungeon, challenge rift, or the raids themselves. Now I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have an excellent day. Take care of yourself. Later.